Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're doing great wherever you may find yourselves, and welcome to another episode in my little series where I rank my favorite album runs of all time. And today is episode number 18, getting real close to the number one, even closer. And this means that today is ranked run number 3. And this is a artist, not a band, but yes, they're also British. Again, there's that theme. And I've talked about this particular artist before as the best album run of all time. And it's my third favorite, so they don't line up. I think this artist is incredible. My favorite solo artist of all time. You know who I'm talking about if you've been watching this channel. They are my third favorite run of all time, but I think they have the best run of all time. So, number 3 is David Bowie. We start with the second self-titled, changed it to Space Oddity. And, of course, somewhat of a pun for Space Odyssey, as you know. And this is a very uneven novel I've been reading today. This is a very uneven record release, but despite the fact that it's uneven and has some wonderful charm here, some wonderful different flavors. After all, Led Zeppelin 4 is very uneven, and yet it's inspired, so different types of music there. So you get some folk rock, you get some rock, standard rock, you also get some psychedelic rock here, and I love this album. It's rough around the edges, but I still love it. Again, it's very charming. The title track is fabulous, the best song on the album. Unwashed and somewhat slightly dazed. Quirky song title, but I think this is a very good, this is a great song if you ask me. Letter to Hermione is a very good song. Signet Committee, often played live in the early stages of Bowie's career and sometimes later. This is a very good song as well. Ginny is an okay song, not great, but is okay. And An Occasional Dream is just okay to me. I love Wild Eyed Boy from Free Cloud. Conversation Piece I think is quite good. God Knows I'm Good. I used to dislike the song very much as a young boy when I first heard it, but boy, did it grow on me. I guess that's the Catholic in me, kind of thing, dealing with, struggles of one's faith. And then you have the wonderful Memory of a Free Festival. This is quite an album, despite, as I said, its unevenness. So you have Rick Wakeman here on Mellotron, and he comes back to play on an album or two later. So definitely worth having in the discography. For so many of us Bowie fans. Next, as you know, is The Man Who Sold the World. And with songs like The Width of a Circle, which has a level of heaviness to it, Bowie-type heaviness, because here's where Mick Ronson joins the band. You have this wonderful song, which I have it right here. If you have this on video, the concert, you can see him and Trevor Bolder in like this extended bit of the song, just going to town, trading, bass versus guitar, kind of like Alex Lifeson and Geddy do in By Tor in the Snow. Very similar to that, but not the same. Very, very great. This is a bit of a progressive album for Bowie. Bowie's version of progressive, of course. Width of a Circle is my favorite song on here. You have the wonderful Tony Visconti playing bass here. You have Mick Woodmansey on drums. So you have almost all the Spiders from Mars here, just Trevor Bolder's missing. So you have 3/4 of the Spiders here, and this is a fantastic album from start to finish. The Width of a Circle, All the Madman, Black Country Rock, After All, Running Gun Blues, Save Your Machine, great song. She Shook Me Cold is fabulous. The Man Who Sold the World, of course, the title track, my second favorite song on here. And The Supermen, produced by Tony Visconti. Great album. This is a great album. All right. Next is Hunky Dory. Now you have the full Spiders from Mars here. Changes, hit off the album, Oh You Pretty Things. So right off the bat, 2 wonderful, fantastic masterpiece songs. Then you get 8-line poem, Life on Mars. See, this is essentially a greatest hits album, as I said in my previous video, if it weren't for the next song, which is Kooks. Don't care for the song whatsoever. But then you get back to some wonderful songs in Quicksand, Fill Your Heart. Andy Warhol, great song. Bob Dylan, Queen Bitch, and the Bellaway Brothers. Yeah, so this is a great album as well. I think I missed a song here. Yeah, song for Bob Dylan is what I meant to say. Yeah, great song. So, wonderful album. All right. Next we get, for this, you also have Rick Wakeman. This is the return to Rick Wakeman on this album. Then, of course, you get his magnum opus. For many of us Bowie fans, we feel that way. I do as well. Again, All the Spiders Are Here, hence the part of the title of the album cover. 5 Years, Soul Love, Moon Age Daydream. Great hit from his discography. The Wonderful and Beautiful Starman. Great lyrics. It Ain't Easy. Fabulous. Lady Stardust. Wonderful. Star. What a wonderful song. Hang On To Yourself. Nice clap your hands type song. And I'm not the biggest clap your hands type song guy, but I do like it here. The title track. Suffragette City. Another hit, of course. And Rock and Roll. Fill in the blank. Fabulous album. Then you get Aladdin Sane. Okay. You get the Spiders here, and you get a host of other guests as well. This is not as good as this, but the run already is just dynamite with Space Oddity through and including this. I mean, how many bands or artists do you know who have 1, 2, 5 albums, back to back, whatever, that are just phenomenal masterpieces or very close to being masterpieces? Watch That Man is great. Aladdin Sane, Driving Saturday, Panic in Detroit, Cracked Actor is fabulous. All these songs are great. Time is, I think, a song that I didn't like as a younger man, but I love it now. The Prettiest Star, I don't give that enough airplay here at the house. Let's Spend the Night Together, probably the weakest track on the album because it's a Stones cover, but I do like it. The Jean Genie, another hit, of course. Lady Grinning Soul, another song perhaps that I could give more airplay in the house, but masterpiece if you ask me. Diamond Dogs. Sorry. Let's do this one. Got to include this one here. I don't want to repeat myself from another video, but I will say this. This is my favorite. I will repeat this. This is my favorite covers album of all time. And I love the selection of songs that he chose to cover. It fits right in with his style and tone and vibe and mood at the time. The standout track for me is Friday on My Mind by the Easy Beats. And coincidentally, or not coincidentally, I'm not sure, him and his good friend Peter Frampton have both covered the song, and that's what makes it special for me as well, because of the connection, their friendship, and because as a young boy, these are two of my favorite solo artists. So, pin-ups. Next, now we're talking Diamond Dogs. Lineup change. The Spiders from Mars have broken up. Of course, you still have Bowie here with guitars. He's playing guitars here. He's playing the Moog and the Mellotron. And you have Ainsley Dunbar on drums, who he has been in Journey and Starship and you name it, right? ELO, I think, for a brief. No, that's not true. But he's been in quite a few number of bands in his illustrious career. So, and he fits right in an album perhaps inspiring Marilyn Manson. All right, so Diamond Dogs, great album. Then we get the Blue-Eyed Soul Young Americans. You got the hit title track, right? You have the wonderful Win and Fascination, right? Somebody Up There Likes Me. I love that song. It makes me think maybe it's a part 2. God Knows I'm Good, perhaps. Across the Universe, the Beatles cover. So he goes from doing a Stones cover to a Beatles here. It's wonderful. Can You Hear Me, I think, is a song I should give more time to listen to. And he closes out with the wonderful Fame, my favorite song on the album. It's cliched, but Young Americans and Fame are my two favorite songs on here. This is a masterpiece of an album. Next, speaking of masterpiece, Station to Station, short and sweet type of an album. The opening track's very progressive because of that long intro. Station to Station, what a wonderful song. You get the hit off the album, of course, Golden Years, just fabulous. Those two songs right off the bat are my favorite here. But Word on a Wing, TVC 15, Stay, and Wild as the Wind are just dynamite. Of those, Wild as the Wind is perhaps my favorite. Great way to end an album. What a masterpiece of an album, despite the fact that it's very short. You have Carlos Alomar on Station to Station and Earl Slick on guitar as well. Both of those guitarists is what part of what this makes this a wonderful album. And like I said, it's very progressive. Is there something I missed? Yes, for Young Americans, I wanted to say that you have Carlos Alomar on guitar and Earl Slick on guitar as well, and David Sanborn on sax. Have to mention those. David Sanborn, a legend in his own right as a saxophone player. All right, so now we get to the Berlin Trilogy with Lowe, Brian Eno producing, Carlos Alomar on guitar, Iggy Pop on backing vocals on a track or two. This is an uneven album, but it's wonderful. It's a delight. Speed of Life, Breaking Glass, What in the World. You get the expected type song here from Sound and Vision. Always Crashing in the Same Cars, Dynamite. Be My Wife, I'm not a big fan of, but besides that, this whole album is wonderful besides that one song. I mean, A New Career in a New Town is amazing. Very biographical because Bowie's in Berlin for 3 albums, right? Warszawa, the instrumental, is dynamite. Art Decade, the last 4 songs very avant-garde. The whole album has that avant-garde feel. Even Sound and Vision to some degree, despite the fact that it's kind of what you expect Bowie to do from his palette, if you will. Weeping Wall's great, and Subterraneans is dynamite as well. So this is a masterpiece, despite that there's one song I don't like, or I guess close to a masterpiece. Next, you get the lovely Heroes. Okay, Eno, Ken producing as he does the whole trilogy, right? Robert Fripp from King Crimson is now the lead guitarist on here, and Carlos Alomar is rhythm guitar. But boy, what a wonderful, tremendous album. Great from start to finish because Beauty and the Beast, Joe the Lion, the title track, Heroes, Sons of the Silent Age, Wow, Blackout, V.T. Schneider, Sense of Doubt, Moss Garden, Nukul, if I'm pronouncing it right, and The Secret Life of Arabia. These 3 albums get better every time I listen to them. They get better with age. In fact, this whole run does, if you ask me. So, Heroes. And then, of course, you have Lodger, weird album cover. I can never remember which one is the top. There you go. And you have Bowie making, his pig face on the back because he's up against the glass, I guess, or he broke his nose. Eno again, Visconti on mandolin. Now we have Adrian Belew on mandolin and electric guitar, replacing Robert Fripp from the previous album. So you have both members from King Crimson doing a stint with Bowie here. And you also have Carlos Alomar on guitar and drums. And the tracks are just dynamite as well. Fantastic Voyage, African Night Flight, Move On. The Assassin is probably my favorite song here. Red Sail's my second favorite. DJ is wonderful. Look Back in Anger is great, as is Boys Keep Swinging. Probably my least favorite, maybe. Repetition and Red Money are just dynamite. It's a great album. So there's the Berlin Trilogy, folks. And then you get, of course, the wonderful Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. Okay, you have Carlos Alomar on rhythm and lead guitar here. You have Fripp back on 5 songs, Pete Townsend from The Who on 1 song, and Tony Visconti on 2 songs playing the acoustic guitar. This is a gem of an album. Sometimes this is my favorite. It's No Game. Up the Hill Backwards is just dynamite. Scary Monsters, the title track. Ashes to Ashes and Fashion. So those 3 songs are the hits off the album. They're dynamite. But when you get to side B, it doesn't disappoint. Teenage Wildlife, Scream Like a Baby, Kingdom Come, Because You're Young, and It's No Game number 2 is just a treat. One of the best side Bs in all of rock and roll. One of the best side As in all of rock and roll. One of the best albums of all time in rock and roll, if you ask me. And then finally, Let's Dance, Stevie Ray Vaughan on guitar, and Nile Rodgers also on guitar, but Stevie Ray Vaughan is playing the lead here. Very pop commercial here. Bowie diving into the commercial pool, if you will. And of course, the ones that follow, Tonight and Never Let Me Down and Black Tie White Noise, are, for many of us, a letdown, myself included. But this is a gem of an album, despite being uber commercial. I love Modern Love. I love China Girl. I love Let's Dance even. Without You is, I think, tremendous. Ricochet is wonderful. Criminal World, my least favorite song on the album, but there's something endearing and charming about it. Cat People Putting Out Fire is the David Bowie I know and love because of the passion with which he sings. He sings so passionately on here, all of them, but this and China Girl and Modern Love are the three just over the top, singing with that passionate love he has for singing and giving us wonderful music. And then it ends with Shake It, which I think is a song that sometimes gets neglected by us Bowie fans, myself included, but is a marvelous song, I think, for just the downright composition, the passion which the whole band has playing the song. It's just fabulous. It was a fabulous album. Too bad Stevie Ray Vaughan couldn't stay a little longer, but he had a falling out, as you know, with Bowie. So Let's Dance ends the run. You have 14 albums here in all. This is pretty much a shorter video than some of my previous ones. I didn't want to repeat myself from the other video where I talked about this run as the best of all time, but it is my third favorite run. So we're almost finished, folks. We have number 2 tomorrow and then number 1 the day after that. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye now. God bless.